Welcome back to the channel. I came to do a kind of a side-by-side video on Red Jacket or Copper Jacket TV's video about him not being able to get his concealed carry license, which, if I'm being completely honest with you, it's just him ranting that he did not get his concealed carry because he didn't fill out some documents, and then goes on this rant about how concealed carry reciprocity needs to be taken care of while ignoring the main issue. And that main issue is that Nevada is you can get a concealed carry from Nevada, and yes, it takes 120 days, but there's a lot of different things going on with this, right? The law states that they have up to 120 days to approve it. Now, Clark County, Nevada, they always just go ahead and take that 120 days to approve it. I had a concealed carry in Vegas. It was a great thing to have, and I used it a lot in Vegas, and I can understand his frustration with the 120-day period to get approved and whatnot. And that's just how the law is written. And I get it. Like, we're all frustrated that concealed carry reciprocity hasn't happened, and we're almost 3 months into this new administration, and it's just not been a thing. But you can't just let these things happen. I think that Donald Trump and the rest of the Republican Party is just kind of trying to get these things passed, and I know he mentions it in here. I don't know if this binder that he has in here, I'll just play the video, but it's super kind of misleading on why he was denied these rights, and we'll kind of go through this.
Super happy. Now, why was I there? Well, I was there to essentially beg to be able to practice my Second Amendment rights. The same Second Amendment that the Supreme Court said shouldn't be treated like a second-class right. And
he normally does this in all of his videos. He talks about the second-class right. He's really quoting Bruin, and good for him. But if you watch Washington Gun Law's videos about concealed carry are phenomenal, and you should watch them. But he's quoting Bruin here.
I agree. It shouldn't be treated like a second-class right. And I don't think it is treated like a second-class right. I think it's treated like a privilege, not like a right at all. Because I don't remember ever having to go down to the local police station with a binder like this that has a bunch of paperwork in it with a bunch of signatures and, a bunch of my own personal identifying information.
So I haven't gotten a concealed carry in like the last, I want to say like 8 years from Nevada. I've been overseas. I've been, I haven't had a need to have a concealed carry until like a couple years ago. He's got this binder, and I'm sure there's the things that they have in there is the training certificates from the concealed carry class that he took. That he's probably got 2 bills proving that he actually lives in Vegas in Clark County. And then, I don't know what other forms there would be other than the class, the 2 bills showing that he's there, his old concealed carry, his driver's license, maybe a passport. Who knows? I don't know why he has all this binder. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason, but I wish he would have elaborated on that.
And a release so that I can have my background checked by the FBI just to have free speech or practice my right to remain silent or not have my stuff searched, without due process or just cause. I don't remember having to do that for any of my other rights. But for some reason, the Second Amendment is treated like a privilege by our...
I kind of like this point that he makes. It kind of like it's thought-provoking in a way that, you don't need a background check to go exercise free speech or, that kind of stuff. So, or religion for that matter. Just a thought-provoking.
Our federal and local governments. Now, I'm back home, and guess what? I didn't even get to go through the process. I'm back home without completing anything. I didn't even make it past the first window.
This is kind of where I have an issue with this video
today,
because
and why this is so unconstitutional.
It's kind of misleading as to why.
And why we need national constitutional carry way over national reciprocity, but we need national constitutional carry today.
Yeah, just Cool. We all want it.
Of 3 with a wife that works full time, it's very difficult to get even an extra minute in your
I
life,
understand
let
his
alone a day
frustrations
where
on
you
this
can go
part
down
too.
and handle something like this. This is a big burden for a lot of people, including myself. Not to mention, once you get down there, it's going to cost you a bunch of money. This is a renewal for me, so it's going to be a little bit less, but not all that much less. So you got to go down there and you got to pay a bunch of fees. And then because I was late renewing my permit, I got to pay a penalty, right?
Okay, so this is where it gets misleading, in my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. Okay, he knew the deadline for him to renew his license, and there's all sorts of resources for him to explore how to do so. And he failed to meet that deadline, so now he has to probably do a whole new license. I'm pretty sure that's how the rule is written. I mean that should be pretty easy to explain.
Right? This is a penalty fee to be able to practice my Second Amendment rights. Then you got to pay another fee so that you can be fingerprinted. You got to wait in a room with a bunch of other people that are sitting there waiting for a bunch of other things to happen. But you got to go down there. You got to spend your whole day. You got to spend a whole bunch of money. And then at the end of the day, once you're done filling everything out and you've done your fingerprints and you've allowed the government to peer into your life at every corner, now you're going to have to wait 120 days. You got to wait 4 months in the state of Nevada.
I already talked about this 120-day waiting period.
Like,
it's kind of just not a waiting period. It's a they have up to approve or disapprove
Sheriff's Department. But hopefully that gets fixed too. But here, 120 days you have to wait before you can practice your Second Amendment rights. 120 days, 4 months.
You're allowed to open carry in Nevada. That's a solution to this. And I did it all the time. I'm sure people did it all the time. It's not an uncommon thing to see people in Clark County and all that stuff just open carry, not in the metro area, but everywhere outside of the strip and like all those other places, you can open carry. There's different rules and stuff for each private institution for you to carry. Speaking of which, you probably shouldn't be concealed carrying your fucking P320 that's going to blow your fucking leg off in a casino, because most casinos are like have a zero tolerance policy, especially after what's his bucket decided to go and kill a bunch of the people at that Route 66 festival, country festival.
So I go down there and I walk up to the window and the guy over takes a look at my paperwork, right? You got to do your training. You got to go to a class. Even for renewals, you have to go to a class. It's half the amount of time and stuff, but you got to do all your paperwork. You got to go to the class. You got to take that time away. You got to pay for the class. You get down there. So I go down there with all my information. I think I'm ready to go, right? Good to go, all set. Everything's ready. Hand all the paperwork over. Looks through the paperwork as, like I'm the bad guy and he's doing me a favor, okay? Like he was doing me a favor. So anyway, he looks through my paperwork and he hands my paperwork back and he says it's wrong. You need to go back and have it fixed. And I'm like, what's wrong? You know what was wrong with it? I forgot, or the instructor, one of us, forgot to put my name at the top of one of the pages. So I asked the guy, can I put my name on the top of the page now and we can just go ahead and get on with it? Everything else is there. Everything else is signed. Everything is completed. I have taken my day off to be able to be down here today to do this. And his answer was no.
Okay. This is why I have an issue with this video, primarily, is the fact that he refuses to take blame for his own mistake. His mistake was failure to put his name at the top of the piece of paper that he was trying to do to renew his concealed carry license. He made a clerical error. He made an appointment. He failed to bring the filled out documents and doesn't want to take responsibility because he's blaming himself and or the instructor filling out the paperwork to get his concealed carry. Now he goes on to rant about a bunch of different other things regarding just how Clark County and getting your concealed carry and all these forms, and then he complains about all this stuff. Meanwhile, and then he also mentions California's waiting periods and like concealed carry, but like California's kind of in a bind because they got sued up the ass about their concealed carry, and now people who are associated with certain groups can apply for concealed carry licenses without issue in California. I get it. You're frustrated. That's a thing. You have 563,000 subscribers. 16 hours ago, you posted this is 31,000 views. I have an issue with like blaming the system that allows you to go and get a concealed carry from a police department. I also have an issue with it too because I don't like, subjugating myself to all this paperwork to get my concealed carry and whatnot. And being in Utah, like there's purposeful reasons to have a concealed carry in Utah, especially because you can carry in a school the moment that you get your concealed carry, which is important for a lot of parents, especially for him. And I get it. I'm a parent. He's a parent. But refusing to accept that you made a clerical error when you had an appointment and that you were supposed to knowingly go to this appointment with all your paperwork filled out, it's just like going to the DMV. Should it happen? No. But Nevada is a blue state that voted red. So, look, I could beat around the bush all day. This video is super misleading, and I'm sorry, like Copper Jacket, like he makes such great content, but going out there and ranting, this should have been turned into a, hey, this is how you should be getting your concealed carry. Not a, I missed my deadline and want to blame the system and everybody else for my clerical error that I didn't get. And I wasted my own time to go get this concealed carry done. I don't get it. You could have turned this into a lesson, but you turned it into a rant. I just don't think this was appropriate. Like, I think you could have made this a lesson for everybody, especially for Clark County residents, especially for those guys that like carry all the time. And I don't mean to call you out like this, but like, dude, like you made an error. You make an error at work. Do you own up? You got to own up to it. Like, this is the same thing. Again, I don't agree with like subjugating yourself to paperwork and all this stuff to get a concealed carry license. I don't agree with it either. But it's the system that we have. And we can fight it all the way up, but do yourself a favor and just get the license and make it a lesson, not a Clark County sucks and this is paperwork that I don't want to do and wasting my time. Like, if you seriously care about something, especially when it comes to carrying a firearm, this is one of those things that you shouldn't budge on and that you should be taken care of on time. I don't know what the situation is, and I don't but at the same time, like, you have to own up to this mistake that you didn't do your job and then got angry at the guy who was trying to, get your paperwork sorted so that he could get your application through. You didn't fill out the paperwork right. Dude, we get it. I get it. But this is 2025. We can beg and wish and complain all we want, but that's not how you do it. It's just not. So I know this is kind of a ranting video. I had another plan to do another video on some Hornady stuff, but dude, I'm sorry. This just had to come out. I was literally driving to work and I was listening to this video, and I don't think this is just not how you do this, especially just making gun owners look bad. That's just really what it is. Like, if you have 536,000 subscribers, you should have turned this into a lesson on how to get your concealed carry in Nevada and learn from my mistakes. But you didn't. So, let me know your thoughts below, and hopefully, there's a lesson learned out of this from you guys, and we all become better armed citizens because of it, especially for those in Nevada. And if, you're just not satisfied with Nevada, Utah's a pretty cool place. It's just got a lot of Mormons and not a whole lot of alcohol. But that's really about it. Oh, and no gambling. So you got that bad. So thank you guys for watching. I know this is a little bit longer than his actual 8-minute 45 video, but at the same time, like, there needs to be some explanations had, and I hope that I brought some of those explanations. Copper Jacket, keep your good work doing what you're doing, but we want some lessons too. So have a good day, everyone. See you next.